There has been some calls since yesterday, and even before the protest, that the president should speak. I don't know what it is with Nigerian presidents and not speaking. From Muhammadu Buhari to this president, not speaking is almost, I don't know. What is going on? What can that do to change anything?
Thank you for the question. Before I answer that question, I'm going to touch a bit on what Mr. Winnie talked about everybody doing their own part. Are you aware that the Lagos State government has like a food system plan?
Yeah.
Where in parts of Ekwe, they have reserved areas for farming. In fact, there was a plan at the time where you could procure 6 plots of land for 250,000.
What are they on?
I don't know. What has happened now is that some of those areas for farming are being procured. I could have bought some, but I'm not into farming. I told my younger brother who runs a farm, go and consider them. To the point, those lands allocated for farming are being bought by real estate people.
My sincere apologies, Mr. Adefaya.
Yes.
They say Mr. Our correspondent Benny is standing by. So let's get to Benny. Quickly, as quickly as possible, let's get your update.
Hello, Jeff, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead with the update you have for us, Benny.
All right, this is Moshood Abiola, National Stadium in Abuja. If you recall, we were here earlier this morning with visibly no crowd in sight. But it's a far cry from what it was this morning to this point, with a whole lot of protesters out here this morning calling for different things from the government, calling to an end to hunger, end to bad governance, and a whole lot of agitations and cry going on here. The protest is on with heavy security presence, and I have one of the protesters here with me who has something to say. What's your name, and tell us what you're here for this day?
My name is Mokasa Kennedy. I'm here at the two of the nationwide protest, tax and bad governance protest. The nationwide protest is going simultaneously across the nation. So we have actually made demands, and if the government is listening, if they are not inept to the problems of this country, they must have seen it. And so we are here to continue this protest, and we have said we are going to protest for 10 days, and we are hoping that within these 10 days that the government will have given solutions to the problems that we have actually articulated. And one of those problems is removal of fuel subsidy and ending hunger. One of those problems is also judicial reform. One of those is also electoral reform, among other things. But unfortunately, since yesterday, there have been an intention of the government to actually intimidate and cow the protesters, not to highlight or bring to the attention of the president. We have felt that perhaps if the ministers of this parliament is not actually giving him the right information, that it should have been an opportunity for him to listen to his citizens direct. As somebody who was a chief protester, he protested all his adult life. Since an adequate time, he protested against the military regime. And in 2015, he protested against Jonathan Gold, because it was during that time that he made this tweet and said, police should not shoot at innocent protesters.
Okay, this is day 2 of the protest, and the IG has warned protesters not to continue. That was his word of advice. And after today, do you think this protest, if the government doesn't heed to what the calls and demands are, do you guys intend to continue to day 10?
Anyway, the IG of police is not above the constitution of this country. The grand norm is the guiding principle, is the rock upon which any nation is built. And he cannot tell Nigerian people, except the IG, what he should do, he should tell Nigerian constitution, he should call even a national conference, and actually discuss, until he does that, we cannot actually respect him above, because the constitution of Nigeria, section 39, section 40, actually gives the people of this country the freedom to assemble, the freedom of expression, and the freedom to protest. In short, the president himself is a chief protester. In short, I'm expecting that the president, if he's sincere, if he's a Democrat that he has touted and has...
All right. Thank our correspondent Benny taking the thoughts on the protesters, but we're totally out of time. So we must thank our guest who will stay with us. Gigi Ogunye, legal practitioner, Yeka Adekoya, security and defense consultant, as well as Dr. Alai Tari Theophilus, president of the Joint Council Worldwide, and Mr. Felix Moka, the National Publicity Secretary of the APC. Thank you all, gentlemen, for coming on the program, and we'll continue to follow this. It's our continuous coverage of the national protest called the End Bad Governance. We'll take a quick break at the top of the hour.